Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yeah. Talk, let's check. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing. Cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible. Make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is non-existent, you need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan, pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the call. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast and we poppin', let's go.
Yo, what's poppin'? What is poppin', everybody? I'm back in my normal location.
Yeah, you are.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it's it's a little bit of a lull in news as far as the off season is concerned. We're gonna get it cracking. You know, we always find something to talk about. I got a couple controversial topics to talk about. One is the great Christian McCaffrey, who we can never talk about, Dave, because we always get hate when we talk about Christian McCaffrey. But we're going to talk about it because there was some news that came out about it.
Wait until Friday.
Yeah,
when I go over to running back to wide receivers.
Yeah, I see you going live every Friday. I like that, and I like your thumbnail game. I saw that. I peeped that, Dave. I peeped your thumbnail action, daughter, bro.
Shout out to my daughter. I can't take the credit, man. She's gonna be doing my thumbnails.
I knew you couldn't. I knew you wasn't capable.
No,
bro.
absolutely
I knew
not.
that was.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'll tell you how that went.
I saw that.
I'll tell you a quick story. So I looked at my daughter. I called my daughter right after work, and I was like, "Yo, I need a thumbnail." Like Friday, I said, "I need a thumbnail. This is what I want." I was like, "I want you to put the logo, these players, this title, make it happen." And she like panicked. I was like, "Look, I'm gonna pay you to do it. Just do it, and I'll take care of you." She pulled it off.
That's fire.
That's what she came up with.
That's fire. She did a good job, man. Her ideas will continue to develop, and she'll get better and better.
Yeah, I told her, I was like, "Look, man, I kind of want." I was like, "This is what I want you to do because you talk about this life. I'm gonna give you what I need, and I need you to put it together." Because she got all the Photoshops and all that stuff too. She takes the classes. Yeah, I'm like, "Yo, get into it."
You don't even really need Photoshop to do all that, but yeah, because Photoshop is great. It's great. Don't get me wrong, but you don't really need Photoshop to do the thumbnails and all that. But I see what you're saying. I got what you're. Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down as far as a career and all that. But yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm back. I was in Myrtle Beach all week last week. So it was good to be back home. Shout out to my daughter. My youngest daughter, obviously, I know I talked about this last week, but I'm going to do it again because I'm proud of my daughter. But she's a 3-time national champion, which is super fire. She got an interesting story when it comes to dance. She almost quit a couple years ago, tried out for her sister's studio, didn't make it. She didn't want to dance anymore, came back and, tried out for this new spot. And then, they ended up going to the national championship and winning. Three of her dances won national championship, so it's pretty dope. That's pretty cool, man. It's pretty fire. It's pretty fire.
You know what, man? I think my cousin's daughter was out there too, because I guess she had nationals as well.
Yeah, well, they have they're probably different age. They have I think they have 8 and under, 9 to 11, and then 12 to 14, 15 and up is the age groups. So super fire, man. And like I said, my daughter dances with a great Super Bowl winning safety. I ain't gonna put his name out there because I don't want y'all Googling shit, but he's cool. But yeah, man, it was good stuff. I had a good time, man. I had a blast. Shout out to all the dance dads that was out there. You know, it was good to kind of connect with them, and it was fire, man. It was dope. It was dope. But yeah, it was teams from all over the states, bro. You know, Canada, Jersey, Illinois. It was all over, bro. It was kind of dope. It's kind of dope. All right. So Dave, anything else before we get into some of these topics that we gotta jump into?
Nah, man. So just for folks who are not aware, I went live on Friday to go over quarterbacks, tight ends, kickers, and defensive special teams. This upcoming Friday, I'm going to go over running backs and wide receiver. I expect this one to be a much longer episode because that's pretty much the core of your squad. And starting on the Tuesday after that, I'm going to be doing player spotlights from a fantasy perspective. And the Patreons are going to give me the recommendations of the players that I should go over. So those are the players that I'm going to roll with. So now those won't be live when I start doing the player spotlight. So Tuesdays and Fridays after this Friday, I'm going to be doing player spotlights, different players, regardless of the position.
Yeah, man. And like I said, and we'll talk about Patreon a little bit later, but Patreon is about to ramp up here. It's about to be on fire. Okay. So if you've been waiting, you've been on the fence, it's going to be a good time to join the Patreon because you're going to get some exclusive shit, especially when it comes to training camp. I'm going to work hard for y'all. So y'all know how those that kind of rock with us last year, training camp, you know what time it is. And we running everything I did back last year, the player spotlights at training camp, where we follow around, get highlights from each individual player. You guys vote. We pick a player each day. I will take my camera, high def camera, and, you know, focus on that particular person, get their drills, and I put together a quick highlight video for that day. That's going to happen again. Obviously, I will be streaming live. Obviously, I do the best I can. You know, it's Spartanburg, and so the signal sometimes goes in and out depending on how many people out there. And so it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get into some of this content. We got to start with the most controversial thing out there, because Dave, I don't know if you saw this, but there was a post out there. Some talk about overrated folks, and Christian McCaffrey came in at number 2 on this list for one of the most overrated player in the league. All right. So this is Chris Canty's list. This is Chris Canty's list from I don't know.
Is that Derwin James?
Yes.
Derwin James, Khalil
Mack, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, and Dak Prescott.
Wow, Dak's number 1, huh? Wow.
Yep.
Yikes.
Yep. So we'll forget the rest of the list. Let's concentrate on Christian McCaffrey, because if you've been listening to this podcast for a little bit. We are big fans of Christian McCaffrey, but do you agree or disagree, Dave, where he falls on this list?
He shouldn't be on this list.
Ooh, Dave, you don't think Christian McCaffrey? Dave, I disagree with you, bro.
Here's why. Hear me out. I don't think folks have been overrating Christian McCaffrey as a player. I think folks are penalizing that man because he's been hurt for the last 2 years. But when that man's on, he's on. You know what I'm saying? Like, quite frankly, I'll argue half of the folks that are on this list shouldn't even be on it. I think the list is terrible is where I'm getting at. Like, when I'm looking at the 5 overrated players, I think the list is terrible. I could argue maybe only 1 should be on that list. Maybe 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I just think the list isn't good. That's where I'm at. I'm just trying to keep it a buck.
Okay, so you don't think the list is good, but I'm gonna bring it back to C-Mac, because you bring up injuries, right? That's a part. I mean, you can't exclude injuries because they've happened. They've happened, and there's all this hype around C-Mac and what he does. I see people in the chat. Oh, he does so much for us.
He does.
What? Okay, he does.
From a production standpoint. That don't mean it equates to wins. From a production standpoint. But that doesn't change the fact that the man is productive. That's my point. When that man is healthy and he's on the field, he's productive. Barkley deserves to be on this list because when his ass is on the field, he's not productive. He wasn't that productive last season. So absolutely he should be on that list. But it's about production. Wins here, productive. But production doesn't always equate to wins. You know that. I know that.
I think, that's my biggest thing. Like,
yeah,
I get the production, and I think you might have a slight fantasy bias in that production, because I could give a damn about fantasy. I could give a damn about
but it's not about fantasy. Points. But my point, but that's why I said what I said when it came to productions versus wins. Like when you say somebody's an overrated player, you're saying that he's getting way too much hype based on what he does. That's not him. He's just the damn offense that just doesn't equate to wins. That's what that boils down to from my perspective. So when I hear that,
I agree with you on that. I'll agree with you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like when I hear somebody's an overrated player, when I think of an overrated player, I'm thinking of somebody like let's use an example. Let's say if we say Odell Beckham Jr. is a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL, I would think that's overrated based on the production. Based on the production, he is not a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL.
But I could say the same thing. I could say the same thing based off production, what CMC has done, including injury. You can't, and I think Jared put it in the chat and said, yo, you can't be number 1 in the position if you can't stay on the field. So let's say let's say hypothetically.
But my point is, but we're talking about a player that's being called overrated. Now, if you have the discussion point about where does he rank as a running back in the league, if I rank Christian McCaffrey as a top 5 running back in the league, nobody's going to disagree with me on that. Nobody's going to disagree with me on that. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to even disagree with me on that.
No,
that's my point. That's my point. Like,
Fair
if
enough.
you say who are the top 5 running backs in the NFL and you don't name Christian McCaffrey, that's asinine. That's my point. So you can't be on the overrated list. That's all I'm saying.
So I just think that okay, let me formulate this thought, because I don't think a lot of people are going to follow me on this. Because Christian McCaffrey has been the entire center of our offense, that production that he is given, it's forced production, which leads to a hampered offense, which leads to no wins, right? So when I look at it like that, of course, if you give the man the football 45 times a game, he's going to produce, right? He's going to produce. Name a guy that gets the ball as much as C-Mac does and does not produce. I'll wait.
At his level?
I'll wait. Name a guy that touches the ball as much as C-Mac does and does not produce. So what I'm saying is you're gonna hate. I know people are gonna get on me in the chat.
Barkley, the guy that's on the list.
We can look that up because I don't think he touches the football as much as C-Mac.
He
might. I don't know.
He ain't that good.
I don't know. But
his average per carry dipped tremendously from his rookie season. Since he's gotten hurt, he hasn't been the same guy. Even when Chris McCaffrey came back healthy, when he was there, he was the same guy. Then he got hurt again. But he was the same guy. He was still producing at the same level that he was prior to his injury, is where I'm getting at. Barkley has not been the same since he's gotten hurt. So his shit dipped. So. Zeke's another one too.
I'm just saying, and these are see a lot of y'all gonna hate because the numbers are the numbers, bro. The numbers are the numbers. When you touch the football 45 times a game, you have more opportunity to succeed, right? I'm not saying that Christian McCaffrey is overrated. What I would like to see is a more balanced offense, which will then in turn drop his production, right? And he wouldn't seem as if he's this top 5, top 7, we know he's capable of it, because if you give him the football 72 times a game, he's going to produce. But if you have a well-balanced offense, and I think we'll talk about this a little bit later, Baker Mayfield talked about, he's got a lot of mouths to feed, right? So If you then spread the football around, his production may drop a little bit, or guess what could happen? He could get some more room, because guess what? We not feeding him, so it could work. I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens. But all I'm saying is that when you give the man the football 72 times a game, he's gonna produce. And we haven't seen, especially that 2,000-yard season, bro. All-purpose. Dog, he touched the football a lot. Like, let's be real.
Oh yeah,
there wasn't people touching the football as much as he did, and we had 5 wins.
That was it. That wasn't was that the Kyle Allen year? I think it was.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think that was the Kyle Allen year. Yep. Right. Nah, I ain't buying this list. I can't believe they got Dak as overrated.
I'm not. I wasn't really worried. The list is irrelevant to me because Derwin James. I don't think he's overrated.
I don't think he's overrated. The only person I think that's legitimately should be on this list is Barkley. I could argue.
You can make the argument for Dak because he got so much, right? You can make the argument. I'm not touching that because I don't watch enough Cowboy football to say, all right, this dude is. I just know that he has a lot of help. I can't say that he's overrated. I don't know where people tend to put him. I'm not going to go that far, just because I don't watch enough Dallas football to chime in on it. But I don't know.
Oh man!
But anyway.
I never seen this. This is my first time seeing this, by the way. That's why I'm kind of
I saw it float. I saw it float on the Twitters, bro. But when he's on the field, hey, when is he going to be on the field, bro?
Week 1.
Hey, maybe if he didn't touch the football as much, maybe some of those injuries.
I'm going to get up. I know we probably talk about it here today, but we're going to talk about that a lot on Friday too. So,
but I digress.
Yep.
Who am I? Anyway, we'll move on. Make sure you follow us on all the Twitters, Instagrams, YouTubes, and all that stuff. And if you want to become a Patreon member, which you talked about a little bit earlier, go to patreon.com/PantherNationPC. I'm telling you, it's going to light up. It's going to be lit for the Patreon. Shout out to all the free agents that are now paying $3 a month. We appreciate that. And if you want to become a franchise player, go ahead and contribute $10 a month. You get access to some of that fantasy shit that Dave was talking about. You'll get access to all the you get 24-hour early access to some of the premium content that we'll be dropping soon when it comes to training camp. So stay tuned to that. Also, just another reminder, we have the PSL, right? So if you want to come to a game, rock out with your boys, the MVP members, they get the access to the giveaways. So we've done 2 already. Shout out to Steve and shout out to Noli. So the first 2 games are accounted for. I'm going to continue to give these games away until I think 9 of them are gone. So I have 7 more to give away. All right. So stay tuned. Also, I did acquire some tickets for FanFest. So I'm going to give those out so that to my Patreon members that want to sit, rock with Rashad. Again, they're only $5. But the benefit of rocking, being a part of being a Patreon member is that you get to watch with me. We get to talk, go back and forth, and discuss it live. So I do have those, and I'll be giving those away pretty soon as well. All right. And then again, MVP. Shout out to MVPs and shout out to Abhishek Pratap. He is a new MVP member. We greatly appreciate your support. And again, you will be now eligible for the PSL seat to come sit with Shad at a game. All right. So shout out to all of the folk that are contributing to this channel. We greatly appreciate it. Dave, can you get us some Underdog Fantasy, please, sir?
Yeah, man. So I know it's the offseason in the NFL, but there's more sports in the NFL, and Underdog Fantasy handles that from a pick'em standpoint. They do pick'ems for Major League Baseball. They're doing something for a home run derby. They got over unders for the home run derby as well. So check that out. Go to underdogfantasy.com and use the code PNP, and you could win. Use PNP, and it'll help out the channel. You can get a matching deposit up to $100. Depending on the mood I am this Friday, maybe I'll do a best ball draft and answer questions about best ball things that start during the show. But once again, go to underdogfantasy.com, sign up, use the code PNP. It absolutely helps out the channel. They handle pretty much any sports that can do an over and under. There's not too many places where you can win 20 times your money if you can get 5 over-unders correctly. And you can win, and if you don't want to take the risk of going for 5, you can do 3 and win 6 times your money. Underdog Fantasy.
Shout out to Dave and Underdog Fantasy. We appreciate that. Great partner, by the way. Love Underdog Fantasy, man.
Phenomenal
good
partners.
Folks over there. Good folks over there. It's dope when you have like a working relationship with folks. You pick up the phone, call, and talk to them. And good folk. So, Dave, let's talk about these press conferences. Did you happen to watch both of these press conferences? Scott Fitter and Baker Mayfield spoke to the media, and I got a couple of thoughts about it, Dave. Did you see this?
I did watch Baker. I did not watch Scott.
Okay, Dave. So let's start with Scott. Since you didn't watch it, I'll catch you up, bro. All right. So one interesting note, and Dave, when we said the Baker Mayfield signing, we kind of inferred that it was that $3 million that he took back and got in incentives. That was a big part of the deal, right? That was essentially the straw that broke the camel's back and allowed the trade to happen. And this is what we talked about. He really went into detail on the back end of how the trade worked. That's why I like Scott, man. He really opens up, peeled back that curtain a little bit, and he really talked a lot about the trade, how it went down, and again, he talked about how everybody sacrificed, how the Browns sacrificed, how we sacrificed, and how Baker himself sacrificed, and essentially that $3 million was what got it done. That $3 million incentive. That he decided to take back and then turn into incentives. That really kind of put the nail in the coffin. And then one other thing that it was a sneaky little subtle thing, Dave, that somebody asked him. Well, I think it was Joe Person or somebody asked, and I'm not gonna. He said, since we don't get a chance to talk to Matt Rule, I'm going to ask you, who's going to have final say when it comes like during the season, if we're gonna pick and pull a new quarterback in, or if we're gonna pull Baker and put back in Sam or something like that. And Scott said it was a committee approach, but he also did say that Matt Rule will have final say when it comes to the QB decision. So you remember how we keep saying, and people keep wondering, why do you blame Matt Rule? Why do you blame Matt Rule? Because he gets final say, and it's been mentioned multiple times. Joe Person said it, and now Scott Fitters. I think he said it on multiple occasions. So shout out to Joe Person and Scott. Shout out to Scott for kind of peeling that onion back. Dave, any thoughts on those two topics there from Scott Fitter?
Look, man, we all knew that Rule has final say. I know some of the fan base can't accept it, but that's the reality of the fact. So we know what it is. If Baker Mayfield doesn't win the starting job and keeps it all season, you got to clean house, bro. Like, it just has to happen at that point. And I feel for Scott, right? Because, I don't think Scott's really had the ability to be a full-fledged GM like a typical GM would be. If the head coach always has the final say, that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're kind of tied on what you can do. But it was commendable that Baker was willing to give up the $3 million. Because I think that probably was a bigger factor than anything else from that regard. But it shows how much he wants it too.
Yeah, it essentially, and Baker, we can get into what Baker was saying. Baker pretty much said, he's happy to be at a place that wants him. You know what I'm saying? I talked about this. Shout out to Rob Brown from the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate, who I speak to every Thursday. Shout out to those guys, man. But yeah, we spoke on Thursday about that and how cool, calm, and collected Baker was. Like, that was so his whole, I was so ready to see fired up Baker, and I'm ready to see the nut grabbing Baker pause. That I wasn't expecting. And I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen a Baker Mayfield press conference before. I never was one to run to a Baker Mayfield press conference. So this is the first time I've seen him in front of the media, and so when I saw, I was like, yo, this is all right. Like, he's cool. He was cool, calm, collected, good with his words. He knows how to speak to the media. He's not a rookie. He knows how to handle it. And he sounded really confident, and he sounded good, man. He said all the right things to me. And one thing, we talked about last week as well was the number 6. Dave, he did get the number 6 from Hecker. What's your thoughts on that?
He called him a 4-time All-Pro, man. I told you, punters are people too. I know you don't want to feel that way. That man was a 4-time All-Pro. Punters are people too. And I'm glad he got his number. I really am. Because he told the story about how he ended up getting number 6 as a walk-on when he was at Texas Tech, and then Oklahoma let him keep the number even though he didn't even ask for it. So that number means a lot to him. So I'm happy he got his number, man. So props to that. Props to that.
Yeah, he got his number, man. One thing that I was a little perturbed, or something that caught me off guard, was the throwing motion, about how they're gonna tweak his throwing motion, or he's tweaking it because of the whole shoulder injury. Now, Dave, this is about the 3rd, 4th time we done seen somebody tweak their throwing. This gives me all kind of PTSD. Because I'll be damned if Cam Newton didn't have to tweak his throwing motion. Sam, they tweaked his throwing motion, and now we got Baker tweaking his throwing motion. What's up with that, man? Is that concerning for you? What you think about that?
No. I'm afraid. Oh, God. If his shoulder, but his throwing shoulder wasn't the injured one. It was the other one. That's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah, but throwing motion came up, which is really, because you're right. It wasn't his throwing shoulder. It was the other one. But they talked about throwing motion. And let me see if I can find the quote. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, man, I shouldn't be as concerned. I just need to understand why he has to change his thrower motion on his when his injury wasn't on the throwing shoulder. That's what I'm trying to understand. Like I don't understand. I just don't understand.
Yep, he said it. I can't find the quote. Give me a second.
But
I guess there's levels to tweaks as well. But again, just as somebody that's heard,
he shouldn't have to change. That's my thing. Man. He shouldn't have to change his throwing motion on a shoulder. That's not. He shouldn't have to change his motion. Like I don't understand. That makes me more concerned from the levels of what the offensive coordinator expects, or maybe what the quarterback coach expects. I question whether or not it's about the shoulders where I'm getting at, right? Like I need somebody that's an expert at this shit to explain to me why he needs to change his throwing motion on a shoulder that isn't injured. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a situation where it's because that other shoulder is a factor when he does throw the ball on his good shoulder. I just don't understand. I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah, I don't get it either, but he definitely said it because I thought the same thing. I'm trying to pull up the quote from the site. Give me a second. Oh, also going back to Scott Fitterer, and he said, this is from a different interview. Shout out to Mac Attack on WFNZ, but he also said on that show in regard to trading for Baker Mayfield, he said, we're gonna keep doing until we get a guy, until we find the guy.
I didn't hear about that.
Until we find the guy, we're gonna keep swinging. We're gonna have to keep swinging. All right, so I finally got the quote. Here we go. This is a quote. This is the quote from Baker Mayfield. He says, "When it comes to my shoulder, and I'm not the one for excuses because I was too stubborn to come out anyway. My throwing motion was extremely violent. So that's probably So that was probably the most hindering reason why. I made some small changes and worked with a great QB coach, Jeff Christensen. He's helped me get me back to a form that I haven't thrown the football this well in a long time. And throwing motion looks a little different, and I'm thankful for that. So he said he had a violent throwing motion, Dave, and that was kind of hindering his ability to throw the football last year. And so he's tweaking it. And so apparently, Dave, it has something to do with it. Even the other shoulder. Shout out to Landon, man. Yeah, basically. We've seen this before. Oh,
God. Do you see a scenario that Sam could actually win this job week 1, bro? I was on that Steve's before we traded for him, and then I saw what he did to get in here, and I'm like, there's no way he's not gonna lose the job. But if they out here trying to change that man's throwing motion, I don't think it's gonna happen. But
the stars are aligned for Baker to what I said was nut grab. You guys must not know your Baker Mayfield history. Pause, okay? The nut grab, going back to Oklahoma. Come on, man. That's what I said. The nut grab. That's going to happen. He's going to plant the flag. All that's the Baker Mayfield I'm trying to see week 1. Pause. Shout out to Robert. He says this is the amount I wanted to send. Keep pounding. I personally, I'm not concerned.
Yeah,
appreciate that, Rob.
Well, we'll see, man. I'm concerned. The only concern I have is that the fact that they brought it up. Like, I don't think they should have brought it up. I don't think they should have said that. I just don't think he should have had it. I don't think it should have been brought up. That's all. I think he could have just said the shoulder's fine, it's still recovering, and that'll be it. He ain't had to talk about the fact that they about to change this man's throwing motion. So as soon as this dude has a bad game, they're gonna talk about his throwing motion, bro. Like if he has a bad preseason game, they're gonna go at him about his throwing motion. Are you creating an unnecessary evil right now? You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at.
I think it came with the question, the line of questioning. Of course, people are going to ask about the injury. He is coming off of a surgery and all that, so of course they're going to ask him about it. So I just think he was responding to a question, and that's how he chose to answer it. So it is what it is. Again, I'm not trying to say it's the end of the world. I don't know because I have not seen him throw, and I could care less what. To me, I'm not in it that much to where I can recognize a terrible throwing motion. Like that's not me. I'm not that well versed in quarterback play to say that's a terrible throwing motion. What if you complete and pass? That's all I give a damn about. I'm giving this QB 6 games. Also, Aggie Pride. Shout out to Austin, man. Appreciate that. Aggie Pride.
Shout out to Austin, man. Sam could be better than Baker, but somebody say Sam was better than Baker. We're gonna find out.
Nah, I don't think that's the case. If Sam was better than Baker, they wouldn't have brought Baker in their eyes.
That's true.
A couple other things. Going again, my fault. I'm skipping around, but nobody asked about Sam Darnold, Dave. Nobody asked about Sam.
Of course not.
Somebody asked.
No, they did ask Baker. They did ask Baker about the expectation that you think you're going to start, and he didn't want to answer the question when it came to start, and he pretty much said that he's going to come in and try to be the best quarterback he could be. He expects everybody else in the room is going to think the same way. Nobody comes into the league to be a backup. So we'll see.
Yeah, open competition. And Scott Fitter said the same thing. But you would be a dumbass if you thought Baker Mayfield wasn't expecting to start week 1. Like you have to understand the I guess what's the training, the media training that's at play here. Of course, Baker Mayfield thinks and knows he's going to start week 1. It's his to lose. I don't even think it's not even a competition really, to be honest with you, because like I said, if they thought Sam was that dude, they wouldn't have brought Baker Mayfield in. Baker's the guy.
I agree.
He's the guy. But going back to what I was saying, nobody has inquired about Sam and his ability and his availability. Excuse me. Now that we brought in Baker Mayfield, usually what happens is when you bring in a veteran quarterback, teams start calling around to say, "Hey, what's up with your boy? You trying to make this trade?" Even though they just seen Baker Mayfield eat some of his salary, like nobody's still calling for Sam Darnold, and that ought to tell you everything.
$19 million a year is about $17 million too high.
That ought to tell you everything you need to know. If I'm Sam Darnold, there's no way I'm taking any. Dog, I'm not. This is the last check I'm getting. You're not gonna get me to take a pay cut. At least Baker might be able to play his way into some new money. Sam, he's done here. That's the last.
You think you don't think you can win the quarterback battle in Seattle?
I don't. I don't. I think Geno could beat him out. Seriously, wow. I'm not even joking. Geno played well last year. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, he did.
Geno looked all right last year. At least he looked like he had something to work with. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Ty.
Shout out to Ty. We got a lot of cap problems next year, man. That's why giving up that $3 million is significant because we can roll that over. Because right now, I think we're still over the cap if I remember correctly, right? So we kind of need that rollover if I remember correctly.
For next year. Next season. Yeah, next season.
For next season, yep.
I ain't too worried about next. This restructures can be done. I'm not worried about it. If anything, we know, and we've seen the Saints manipulate the cap. Being $30 million over the cap ain't really nothing. If you have a GM that's willing to take the risks and continue to properly maneuver the cap, you'll be all right. No big deal. No big deal. Shout out to Too Many Clamps. Bake's non-throwing arm and shoulder gives the torque for that strength of his throwing arm. He twists his body like a coiled spring, and that yanks that non-throwing arm back to give the power for the throw. There you go, Dave. Does that make sense to you? Read that. I think he's just explained the throwing mechanics to you. Therefore, you good. Shout out to the Too Many Clamps for that super chat too, and the explanation. Appreciate that. But yeah, man. Bro, Carl, you smoking, bro? What's you smoking, dog? You all right? Hey, somebody check on my man's. He said, "Hey, I saw his chat that said CMC is the best player in NFL." What you smoking, bro? I want what you got, man. If it's not, as long as it's legal, let me get some of that. You must be drunk and high at the same time. All right. So what's let's see. Baker has no animosity towards Cleveland, Dave. You think that's cap?
Absolutely. You kidding me?
Yeah, me too.
Are we serious right now?
Yeah, that's cap.
They asked him about week 1, 2, and he tried to eat. They asked him about week 1, 2, and he tried to play that off too. Like, come on, dog.
He did.
Come on, fam.
He did.
We know what it is. Man. And I don't blame you. I want you to be like Sam last year when he went up against the Jets week 1. I love it. I want you to ball out of control. All cap. Every color cap.
Yeah.
My man talking about it.
Yeah, man.
Man, come on, dog.
No man. Yeah, no, he's
If there was no animosity, he could have stayed there. Because
I want to see what I want to see the Baker grab one of them Panther flags and plant it at the 50-yard line, man, and the whole bank gonna turn up, bro. It's gonna be go time. Let's get it. That's the Baker I want to see. But not only that, I want to see him back it up on the field. I want to see 2020 Baker. He talked about that too. He talked about 2020 Baker and how everybody wants 2020 Baker and kind of what came with that. And I touched a little bit of that in our good, bad, ugly video and kind of what supported him in 2022. But it was a lot at play in 2020. Excuse me, in 2020. There's a lot at play there. A lot at play. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anything else on these press conferences? The press conferences were earlier this week. You can go back on YouTube, Panthers.com, check them out.
I think I'm good on the pressers, man.
All right, cool. Moving. One other thing I wanted to bring up is that I didn't put this together, and my apologies. I might be a little bit slow. Somebody may have said this already, but I didn't realize that, because we got a lot of ties to the Browns on the roster, including coaches, right? James Campen, offensive line coach. So he talked about
Rashard
Higgins and Steve Wilkes, the DC. He was DC at in Cleveland back in 2020. So one thing that he did talk about was how he was happy that he's familiar with the protection calls and all that stuff. The language is all going to be familiar to him, because that's one of the hardest things to pick up. And when you're learning a new offense, so now that he's going to be able to pick up those offensive line calls and schemes and protections, all that good stuff. Oh, and Corbett too. Thanks, guys. Austin Corbett was there as well. So there's a lot of ties to Cleveland for Baker. A lot of people that was going to speak up for him. So it's not like we completely sight unseen and we don't know what we're walking into. A lot of guys spoke up for him, and there are some ties to Baker. So it makes sense, and I think things lined up for that to happen. We talked about that with Higgins and how I was completely naive to that fact. We've been lining this up for a long time. So
yeah, we were naive, man.
Definitely
we were in denial.
Super denial, bro. Super denial. But yeah, man, I'm happy about the offensive line familiarity though. The calls, the protection calls, that makes a lot of sense to me. And so we'll see if that translates. We'll see if that translates. All right, that's all I had for press conferences. Let's move on to some a few more, pretty much topics here. Position rankings. A lot of people have been putting out position rankings, Dave, and this one came from I think touchdownwire.com. They had Taylor Moton as a number 8 ranked tackle. It didn't matter if there was right or left. They had him at number 8. And that was, Dave, the only player that we had in the top positions. Now they haven't done running backs, they haven't done wide receivers, and they haven't done quarterbacks yet. So just keep that in mind. But they've done the defenses, they've done all the other positions. We don't have any other players in the top 12 according to the touchdown wire. And there's been some other rankings that have come out. I just thought that one was intriguing because we actually did have somebody. Even on other lists, Taylor Moton was not on that.
They beat up Taylor. They've beaten up Taylor pretty good, man. I saw, and Taylor's one guy, but another one I saw, and I retweeted it before the show. I guess Madden came out with the top 10 rankings for wide receivers, and there were 2 noticeable ones missing that wasn't in the top 10. One was DJ Moore and one was Jamar Chase. And I said, and my retweet was, those 2 guys not being a 90 is why I don't play Madden anymore.
Well, yeah, I got those next. I got the Madden rankings next. We'll talk about
that. But he's been getting butchered, bro. He's been getting butchered. Like some got him down there in the 30s, in the 20s. Like he's been getting butchered, something vicious. So I don't think it's warranted either, but I think they're using data to show why they don't think he should be ranked that high.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man, but it's just weird to me. Because if you ask any Panthers fan, they feel good about the roster. Right? I think we feel good about the roster. Maybe, issue a quarterback. Yeah, slight issue there. Offensive line improved. Skill players are good. Defense should be, should be at least top 15. Could be better than that. Could be better than 15, that.
Yeah, it could be top 15.
But nobody appears to. We don't have any standouts, man. All right, you could probably say Christian McCaffrey gonna be in the top 10 of running backs. You could probably assume that, right? So Christian McCaffrey, Taylor Moton, that's really the only guys we got. Mm-hmm. Like, does it? Okay, so let me ask you this: does it take having those top 10 guys? Because I saw a lot of, when I was going through the list, I saw a lot of Browns up there. There's a lot of Browns in the top 10. I saw Myles Garrett. I saw Denzel Ward. I saw I saw a couple of offensive linemen, interior offensive linemen. I saw a lot of Browns, right? And we talked about that, what Baker had as a supporting cast. I saw a lot of guys. And I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Yeah, the punter definitely gonna be top 10. Punter gonna be top 10.
Heck will definitely be top 10. I think DJ Moore should be top 10.
I'm sure that'll be top 10. I'm sure the punter ranking will just put us right at the top. I'm sure that'll do it. That'll move us up those power rankings. I'll bet.
I do think DJ Moore better be top 10, though. I think if Moore's not top 10, we gotta have some discussions.
Yeah, wide receivers hadn't came out yet. But I do love DJ. So for me, I think we got DJ Moore. I love DJ Moore. I loved him since we got him.
And McCaffrey should be top 10 too.
McCaffrey should be top. He definitely will be top 10. We'll say that. I think J.C. Horn
should be top 5, but
I think J.C. Horn has the potential to be a top 10 cornerback.
Yeah, he won't make potential because he got hurt. Yeah, I agree, but he ain't gonna get it.
I'm going off potential. Yeah, I'm going off potential. Depending on where you want to throw Jeremy Chin, I think for interior, maybe, for linebackers, we're thinking about Shaq. I think Shaq is right on the edge, bro. I think he's right on the edge. He's close,
but I don't think
Shaq
I don't think I don't think he'll make it though.
He wasn't on the list. He was on honorable mention on the list that I saw.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
yeah, man.
Freaking Moton.
Yeah, Moton is it according to Touchdown Wire so far. Again, they hadn't done the wide receivers, they hadn't done the running backs. We do expect Christian McCaffrey to be there. And I think DJ Moore should be there too. But that would probably be, they're all on the offensive side of football, which is interesting because that's where we suck.
Well, that's the thing, right? So when you ask the question about where do the rankings matter, I think if you got a lot of players ranked in the trenches, I think that matters more than anything else. If you got players ranked on the defensive and the offensive line, I think that's where it matters more than anything else, in my opinion. So,
yeah.
All right, who's next on the list? Who's next on the Summer Jam screen?
That was it.
I thought you had the Madden ratings up.
I do. My bad. I don't have all of them. I just had the wide receivers.
There we go.
So this was the Madden wide receiver rankings. I thought they did. So on the far left column, you see the Panthers receivers.
They got the wrong 99. That's the wrong wide receiver. They have a 99.
On the right, you got the rankings for the rest of the league. So you got top, I think I got top 23, 24 up there.
Mm-hmm. They got the wrong guy at 99 though. In my opinion.
Think Cup should be 99?
Yep.
Cup is a monster, bro.
Cup should be 99.
I think man, that's tough. I think you got to take Amari out. I don't know if he's top 10.
Amari needs to be lower. Jamar Chase being 87 is insane.
Right. Jamar Chase definitely got to be higher than 87.
Jamar Chase being 87 is wild to me.
That is wild, bro. That is wild. I think that's the most disrespectful joint up here. Is Jamar Chase that low?
Yeah, Amari should be an 87. Jamar should at least be a 90. DJ Moore should at least be a 90. I think they kind of did Thielen dirty too, to keep it a buck. I think they did Thielen dirty too. But I get it. Justin Jefferson's a 93. I think Michael Thomas shouldn't be a 90 at this point. He should be down. Amari should be down.
Why not, Dave?
Because I don't know. I don't think he's a 90. I just don't like. I think that's too high. I think he should be like in the 80s somewhere. I'm not trying to hate because he's in the Saints. Let me be clear. I mean, I'm assassinating Amari Cooper too. Amari Cooper should be lower too. But I don't think the Madden rating is taken into account of the quarterback either. Like Devontae Adams should not be a 99 with a quarterback that they don't know. You know, I don't think he should be a 99, and neither is Tyreek. I don't think Tyreek Hill should be as high as he is either because of the quarterback change. This is my opinion. I think that's a factor too. Deebo Samuel should be at least a 90. Like it's kind of a mess from my perspective.
Yeah, it's a mess, and they definitely disrespected my boy BZ too. I don't like that.
Yeah, like how the hell that man can punt, kick off? Like what the hell?
His punt rating got to be high. I mean, he got to have at least.
Well, it got increased last
kickoff.
season.
His kickoff got to be up there.
Yeah, Chad Johnson increased it last season. He made the show.
Keith Kirkwood should be higher than BZ, respectfully. But yeah, that's the mad ratings that I had so far. The ones I saw come off Twitter, Twitter was going nuts with these ratings, so I decided to talk about them real quick. Dave, that was all I had, I think.
All right, man.
Yeah, that was it.
Let's close up shop.
That was it.
I mean, I ain't got much. We went over everything. I got the fantasy stuff popping off this week. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get into my little groove, get into my little rhythm, and we're going to go from there.
Yeah, man. I don't got nothing else either. Do y'all got any other topics y'all let's give us about 5 more minutes, Dave, see if there's any topics that come up. Cause and then we'll shut it down if nothing else comes up.
All right.
Give him 5. Is there anything? Did we miss anything? It's quiet before training camp. It's kind of quiet.
Good point on CeeDee Lamb, by the way. That's a good point. CeeDee Lamb should have been higher. He wasn't even on the list, I don't think.
Yeah. So any other topics y'all want us to discuss while we still here? Baker meter. Yes, we'll do the Baker meter, the confidence meter. The Baker, for those that are new, last year we did a confidence meter for Sam. Week 3, he peaked week 3. It was Dave confidence was through the roof week 3, and then his stock came crashing down.
That shit plummeted.
His shit went down like
plummeted.
Shit went down like Bitcoin, dog. It was a wrap. Week 4 was over. It was over. Yes, I saw the Dunlap tweet. I saw the Dunlap tweet about him kind of, being in Miami, staying ready. And essentially it was a money thing. Maybe he's chilling out. Maybe he don't want to come to camp. Maybe they just sign him like at week 1 or something like that. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. That's the last thing Scott said. He's like, if there's any other additional signs, it's going to be on a D-line. That's what Scott said.
Yeah, Dunlap is still a thing. So we'll see how that goes.
We'll see how it goes. What does Baker have to do to get extended for the next several seasons? Bro, I think the only way he gets extended is if he he'd have to have a career season. Like, he would have to set career highs at everything. Basically, he can't just be average. In my opinion, average won't get it done. Game manager Baker won't get it done. He gotta win some games. He gotta show it. He gotta go out there, game winning drives. I think he has to. Let me see. Let me check his career numbers real quick. His yards, his highest output from a yardage perspective was 3,827 yards. You got to get 4,000. An additional game, give me 4,000 yards. You got to get me, I'm going to say a 65%. No, I'm going to go a little bit higher. 67% completion percentage. That'll be a career high. You got to give me 30 touchdowns. That'll be a career high. Let's keep the interceptions at 15. And I think that'll do it. It's got to come with some W's, and we gotta have at least I'm gonna go 10 dubs. 10 dubs combined with everything I just said gets Baker extended. He asked me a question. Nah, bro. He asked me a question. He asked me what would it take to get Baker extended, and I think that's what it would take. That's not what I expect him to do. That's what in order for him to get extended, that's what I think he has to get done.
Yeah.
Here we go, Dave. Here's a question. Shout out to Aaron, man. My guy Aaron. He says, how confident are y'all in every position heading into training camp? 1 out of 10. You want to run it down real quick, Dave?
Sure.
We'll go rapid fire. I'm gonna go rapid fire. Give me one second. Let me go. Give me 1 second. My bad. Rapid fire. As soon as I can. All right, ready? Rapid fire, Dave. 1 out of 10. Confidence in the position, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Quarterback.
Okay. 6.
Yeah, it's about. I'm gonna go 6 too. Running back.
10.
I'm gonna go 9. I can't give him a 10. I'm gonna go 9.
I'll give it a 10. Because I think the Donta Foreman pickup makes me feel a little more comfortable to doing it. If Christmas McCaffrey stay healthy, it's a 10, right?
Same. So that's why I gave it a 9, because I don't know if C-Mac gonna stay healthy. But wide receivers, Dave.
8.
I'm gonna go 8 as well. I think Terrace Marshall's Madden ranking was a travesty as well. I think Terrace Marshall is gonna have a monster season. I love Terrace Marshall's game. He's gonna get incorporated. Shout out to Terrace Marshall. I'm gonna go. Let's go tight ends, Dave.
4.
I'm gonna give him a 5. I'm gonna give him a. No, I'm not. I take that back. I gotta stick with my thoughts here. Stick with my thoughts. I'm gonna go 7.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 7.
I'm not changing. You're not gonna convince me to go any higher than 4. I know what
reason why I'm going. Yeah, reason why I'm going 7 is because I think Baker likes his tight ends. We'll see if they can get incorporated. Rapid fire, Dave. Offensive line, Dave.
6.
Ooh, I'm gonna go 8, Dave. Did you see that Icky picture?
That's one position. We have to get 5.
No, did you see Icky? Did you see Icky in that picture, dog? You saw it.
6.
Icky looked like he
if
was.
If you would have asked me, ask me about 2021. No, ask me about 2021.
What about 2021, Dave?
2.
How confident were you? All right, 2. Fair enough.
Triple.
I'm gonna go 8, bro. I'm gonna go 8, 6. Man. I'm confident that they'll get it right this year. I'm confident.
All right.
I'm gonna go 8.
What's next?
Defensive line.
6.
I gotta go 5. Only reason why is because I think there's a lot of question marks with if you talk about YGM, can he take the next step? Marquise Haynes, can he take the next step? We talk about bringing another veteran in. It's just Hassan Reddick let him walk. To me was a big mistake, my opinion. So I know Luvu, I know he nice, but it's different when you're doing it part-time versus doing it every snap. So we'll see. I'm gonna go 5. I'm on the fence. I'm right in the middle. Let's go linebackers. Come on, Dave. Rapid fire.
Oh, wait, what is this? What's position?
Linebackers.
I started daydreaming. We were talking, huh?
Linebackers.
7.
I'm gonna go
7?
6.
6, 7.
6. I'm gonna go 6.
Yep.
It depends how we play him, man. Corey Littleton sounds nice on paper. And then I don't know. We'll see. If we get Rams Littleton, then that's fire. But I don't know if we're gonna get that version of Corey Littleton. We'll see. What about the corners?
8.
Yeah, I'm about it.
8.
I'm gonna go 10, Dave. I'm fully confident.
Yeah. I wanted to go high. I'm trying to be like.
I'm all in.
Nice.
I'm all in on the corners, dog. I'm 10 for the cornerbacks. I'm telling you, bro. I got all my chips in on CJ Henderson, bro. I'm telling. I can't. I hope he don't fail me, bro. Because I like him. I like his game. I hope he backs it up. He got the 2-4 on now. You know what happened when corners were the 2-4. So I'm gonna go 10. I'm gonna go 10 with him. JC gonna be healthy. Dante, Keith Taylor. That's a good group, bro. Good group of guys. So I'm gonna go 10 on that. Safeties.
6.
Yeah. We got Xavier Woods. I'm probably about a 6 or 7. Jeremy Chin is great. Depends how he's going to be played. He's going to drop down a linebacker sometimes. I don't know how they're going to do that. Shout out to my guy, Miles Hartsfield. He kind of fits in that mold too. He's more of a DB, can play safety, nickel, and outside, does it all. So I'm going to go with a 6 or 7 for the safeties. All right. Special teams, Dave, including the punters. Everybody got to say 10, right?
Nah.
Since y'all love special teams so much,
I'll say 8. I like the
punter.
I like the punter. I think the kicker's good. I think our special teams should be improved, and I think Andre Roberts is going to be a good returner for us. So I'll give it an 8.
Okay, you include it. Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna go 8 too. I'm gonna go 8. Yeah. I like that ranking. It's solid. Good kicker. The greatest kicker, punter of all time.
Good kicker, all pro punter.
The greatest punter of all time. Hall of Fame punter. And all that. And good Andre Roberts, good kick return or punt returner. So yeah, I'm gonna go about an 8. And JJ. Shout out to JJ, the great JJ. But no, this was dope. I like that. That was a good little suggestion. Shout out to Aaron for the suggestion, bro. Good question.
That's a great way to close out too.
Yeah, Dave ready to go. I get it. I get the signs. Dave ready to get out of here.
Yo, Dave's absolutely ready to get out of here.
Yeah, Dave.
I love y'all. Don't get me wrong.
You gotta stay off of that stuff, bro. We gotta address the super chat real quick because all super chats gotta get posted. White chocolate espresso. I love those. Man. Cam MVP year had 35 touchdowns under 4K. Under 60% completion rating. You think Cam also did a lot on the ground too. So it's more than that. Just those numbers that you posted. You tried it though. You tried. Baker's not going to do what Cam offers on the ground. So it's not. That's completely different. Completely different argument. But I see what you try to do. I get it. Appreciate the super chat though. They want us to rate the staff, Dave. Last one, rate the staff, Dave. We'll just go offensive coordinator, offensive side, defensive side, head coach. So start the offense, Dave.
Offensive coordinator, I'll give him a 6. Defensive coordinator, I'll give an 8. Special teams, I'll give 7. I'm not like all in on McAdoo like everybody else is. I think the biggest benefit of McAdoo is that he's actually done it in the pros. That's the only benefit he has. He's been a head coach. Yeah.
No.
That's the only benefit he has.
I'm telling you to rate the head coach.
Rate the head coach?
Yeah.
Dude, don't let me do this, man. This is why we need to show on the players.
That's what I'm saying. That's what, yeah. See? The people want to know. The people, shout out to Jared, my guy, man. The people want to know.
I'll give him a 5 for the number of wins he's got. A 5.
Yo, all right, yeah. So let me get my rankings real quick, and then we'll close out. Offense, I think the offensive coordination and offensive staff, I'm gonna give it a 7. I think it's heading in the right direction. I'm gonna give the defense an 8. I think Phil Snow got something to work with. We got Steve Wilkes back there now, so I'm rolling with an 8 there. Special teams, don't really care about the coaching. Head coach, I'm gonna give him a 5 as well. I need to see it, bro. Clock management, all that good stuff. I'm rolling with a 5. Hopefully the 7 and the 8 on the coordinator side lifts him up and gets him to at least a 7 or 8. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Oh, the owner, Dave. Last one. Owner, rate the owner. Yo, all right. So we won't rate that because we know. No.
I'll rate him.
Go ahead.
2 for the number $1 billion he paid for the team.
Wow, a 2 for the owner.
too.
Yeah. I can't
because
get
he's
with it.
talking like he wants to win, but his actions ain't showing it, bro. Like, I understand you don't want to give him that low of a score, but he hasn't, dude. The man hasn't had a winning season. How in the hell do I give the owner a high grade?
All right, one more, Dave. GM. We didn't do the GM.
8.
Yeah, I give Scott a solid 8, bro. I like the trade, the execution of the trade. He's got some pieces in here. Now it's up to our 5-rated head coach to get the best out of the guys. It's on him. But I'm with you, Dave, on the owner. He got to get like a 3 or 4. It's not going well. I think his best move was hiring Scott Fitterer, and that just ain't enough. You got to allow Scott Fitterer to potentially get his own coach. Hopefully, some of those offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators that we got, or defensive assistants, are some of those guys, if you get my drift. All right. Shout out to Mr. Mojo Rising. Stay positive. True Panthers fans know the deal. Shout out to man. And listen, we need some of that positive energy. We need that positive energy. All right.
I'm more positive than I've been all offseason. I think we got an outside shot to win 10 games. I think I'm more positive than I've been all season.
Yeah.
So I've always felt like,
All right, Dave. Let's get up out of here since I know you itching to get out of here. So
again, like wait.
My bad.
I'm looking at. Oh, I ain't talking to you about this, man. You hear about the whole situation about the Browns, man? Now the Browns fans are talking shit, which is the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I saw the Browns Twitter beef. Well, I saw it. See, I ain't got time to be up on Twitter all day, going back and forth with everybody. I don't do that. I do be kind of scrolling, but I don't got time to go back and forth with people on Twitter. So I kind of stay out of it and keep my thoughts to myself unless I really feel some type of way. But yeah, I see it, man. I mean, listen, I like the tweet. I don't know who posted it, but somebody said the Panthers and Browns fans is like two bums fighting in the streets. It's like, yo, what are we fighting over? Like, we both not good. What are we fighting over?
I think the problem is that I think the issue is that the Brown fans are saying they're going to destroy us on opening day. And, as a fan,
are they not supposed to feel that way? Yeah.
No, they can feel that way, but it's about the fact that if you come back to them with data that shows like, yo, dog, like you really ain't you out here talking all this junk and you've only had one playoff game since you guys came back. You know what I'm saying? So like,
yeah, but all that ain't got nothing to do with what's gonna happen on week 1.
Not if you call my team a trash franchise that hasn't done anything, and I'm like, what the hell have y'all done?
That's a different argument.
No, that's my point. Like, that's where it came down to, right? So at first it came about, we're gonna beat y'all, and then we're like, no, you not. And then they're like, y'all trash, I ain't done nothing. And then I'm like, you guys only won one playoff game in 22 years. Like, you ain't really got nothing to stand on here. You guys have never been to a Super Bowl.
That's a complete waste of time.
You know what I'm saying?
Why? Yeah, why?
But it's fun. It's Twitter.
You can't. Like, if you really feel the need that you have to sit down and type out our resume versus the Browns resume, then you got too much time on your hands, bro. Like, it's not even the same. They're not even on the voting. Like, we don't even got to do that. But as far as week 1 goes, they can feel how they feel.
That's fair. Last week, it was about the housing crisis. So, and I got dragged, man. But it is what it is, So Twitter can do that to you sometimes. And this is inaccurate. We got Jake Delhomme from the Saints, not the Browns.
Yeah, they got Jake Delhomme from us. They got Jake Delhomme from us. The crazy thing is about that whole situation, Jake Delhomme was the reason why the Panthers didn't make the playoffs back in 1999. Because he was the backup quarterback for the Saints that was playing at the time, because the Saints season was over, and Jake Delhomme scored enough points on us to stop us from getting enough points to overtake the Packers. It was very close. The most prolific offense we've ever had. So shout out to White Chocolate Espresso for the super chat again. That was a long time ago, bro. Expectations change.
No, and it's not just that. And it's not just that. That man led us to a Super Bowl.
Right.
And a playoff appearance. Like
right.
With a bye.
It's not the same.
It's not the
same, bro.
It's not the same,
not
guys.
The same.
But it's just, I think Baker's gonna have to prove himself to get that to get
4,000 yards, bro. 4,000 yards.
That ain't happening, bro.
30 touchdowns, 10 wins, 15 interceptions, 65% completion percentage. That's
bro,
what I'm calling.
You're asking for,
bro. I don't care, bro. I don't care. Y'all asking me what he needs to do to get re-signed. That's what it is.
Rashad.
I'm just telling you.
Rashad.
Yeah, man.
We've only had a quarterback throw for 4,000 yards twice in the franchise's history.
Shout to Steve Berline, man. Friend of the show. And we're gonna have him back on the show soon. I gotta reach back out. We're gonna get him back on to talk our new quarterback situation.
Yeah, listen, man. Dog, Steve Berline and Cam Newton, the only quarterbacks that's ever thrown for 4,000 yards for us in a season. You out here asking for Baker Mayfield to do the same.
Bro, he want to get re-signed?
If he throws for 3,500 yards and 30 touchdowns, you won't re-sign him?
He want the bag? How many wins I got?
That's what's more important than anything else. We keep it a buck. I think the wins are more important than his yards and his touchdowns. I think the wins is going to be what's going to get him re-signed. I think he's going to need 10. I think he's going to need 10 to get it.
Dog, everything I talk about goes back to wins. Y'all talk about how great Christian McCaffrey is. Where's the wins? You want to talk about what's going to take to get Matt Rule rehired or Matt Rule to stick around? How many wins he got? What's it going to take to get Baker Mayfield extended? How many wins we got? That's the question. It ain't about individual talent all the time. You got to have the right people in place to get the best out of folks so that we can get this team victories. Individual performances done. C-Mac's 2,000-yard all-purpose season done shit for the Carolina Panthers as an organization. He got himself paid. He helped himself get himself paid. But they ain't done nothing for us, bro. Sorry.
Yeah. That
always go back to wins. Always go back to wins for me, bro. If we ain't winning, I could care less. 2,000 yards plus 10 wins and a playoff appearance. Then now we talking. Now we ain't got to win the Super Bowl every year. Well, at least get us in the playoff. Like,
nobody does that.
Get us in the playoffs. Like then we could talk. But I don't care about none of that.
Like the thing is, man, is like the ownership, the current ownership hasn't even gotten to win the season off his belt yet. You know what I'm saying? Like he had a season where he's won at least 9 games. So then you got that aspect too, right? So when you take that into account, the fact that we haven't been to the playoffs, I mean, it's different. He bought that team. When David Tepper bought the team, we were coming off of a playoff team. We were a playoff team when he bought that team, bro. That's the thing that's wild to me. And we haven't been in the playoffs since. And that's why when people are like, well, I want us to be bad so we can get rid of Rule. No, the hell I don't. I want us to win. You think I'm interested in seeing another 5-12 season? No. I want us to win, man. I'm not interested in that. I want to win.
We want wins, man. If Christian McCaffrey getting 2,000 yards got us W's, I'm all for it.
We wouldn't be critical about it. We wouldn't have been as critical about that. We wouldn't have been as critical about that contract if Christian McCaffrey was out here getting these W's with these yards. But the yards don't mean nothing without the wins.
Gotta have these.
That's
W's,
what it boils down to. Like you can't be out here trying to pay these cats if there's no wins involved with this. Because that's why I felt like we should have came up with a plan to trade McCaffrey before he became a free agent. To trade him to somebody that wanted him. And we probably would have gotten a lot for him. And we would have saved the cap space. But that's where I'm at, right? And Tepper's got time, right? Like, I think the problem too is that as a franchise, I know you say that we haven't won a Super Bowl. Some people say we're not a great franchise, but the reality is we have a top 10 playoff winning percentage of all time, believe it or not, which is kind of wild to think, right? But we've we've had a lot of success in the short time that we've been in the league. So, I think we should appreciate what we appreciated Magna Co for the super chat. I think we really need to appreciate what this franchise has done so far. And that's why my standards are high when it comes to this owner, because the previous owner had us in the NFC Championship in the second year. And you know what I'm saying? So like when you start making those comparisons, that's why this has to be the year for Rule to do it, because there's no other head coach other than George Seifert that didn't make the playoffs by the third year. Like that's the reality of the fact. You know what I'm saying? Like it's about perspective. Like he's hitting George Seifert territory right now. So there's an expectation here. And I know that's for some of y'all, that's before y'all era. But the reality is every single coach that has showed up in this franchise has made the playoffs by his third season with the exception of one. And that's Seifert. And that was it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. We're going to see, bro. We is going to see.
What I'm saying?
All right.
That's where I'm at. Like I can easily like go on a whole long rant about how I feel about that whole situation. But the reality is that we have to have some level of perspective. So when I try to make Rule accountable, I'm making him accountable for a reason, because there's certain levels of expectations. You know what I'm saying? We've had one head coach that's taken us to the NFC Championship game in the second year, and another head coach that took us to the Super Bowl in the second year. You know what I'm saying? So when you have those type of head coaches that have showed up in this franchise, there are expectations, especially when you make the decision to pay a head coach as much as you did. So absolutely, I have the right to have those type of expectations. So that's where I'm at. So that's why he got to make the playoffs this year. He's got to win at least 10 games and make the playoffs this year, or I think they're going to have to make a change. I don't think 8-9 is going to do it. And if it does, I'm afraid. Because if we go 8-9, odds are high that we're going to re-sign Baker. And if Baker had a good season, maybe it's warranted. But I think you guys got to understand like the process of these decisions that are being made, right? So we gotta take that into consideration too. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is your rant over, bro?
No. Yeah, it is. It's pretty much done. Yeah, I'm done.
All right.
And I don't think Diddy would have known.
So you're not done.
No, well, no, I'm looking at the comments now. Why are you laughing, man? So
I'm joking,
I don't think
bro.
Diddy. I know you are. I think Diddy wouldn't have gotten us there either, man. Because you got to be able to know your role as an owner, right? Like you got to let the people make the football decisions, and you got to not show that you're impatient. And I think Tepper's impatience is turning into desperation. So, but yeah, I'm done. Shout out to White Chocolate Espresso for the super chat.
All right, let's go ahead and shut this thing down, man.
It's been a while.
Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, get in the comments, all that good stuff, man. We're on the road to 20,000. We got to get there. Can we get there before week 1? We got what? A month in it. Man, we got a long way to go. But I know training camp is going to help us get there, because if we always turn up during training camp, subs always go up. So hit that subscribe button, man. We're going to run it up all the way through week 1 and see if we can get to 20,000. All right. That being said, man, we out.
Peace, guys.